What's up, kings and queens? She ready? She ready? She is ready. What's up, queens and kings? Welcome to another edition of their POV with Nikki King. I'm your host, Nikki Johnson. And King cannot be here tonight, so I'm going to accept the award on his behalf. I'm so goofy. Hey guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. King will not be joining me tonight. He's taking care of some business, so it's gonna be us. Us is we's. How y'all doing? Y'all like it? Y'all know I'm doing this in honor of the whole conversation that we're about to have, but I had to be cute with it, right? Hey sis. Hey sis, what's up? What's up? What's up? So, all of you who are tuning in, please share. Share the video. Invite people to watch with you. Have a watch party. But please share. Tag me. Share, tag their POV with Nick and King. If you have not liked the Facebook page yet, why? I don't understand why. Go ahead and like the Facebook page, their POV with Nick and King. Thank you, sis. I just saw that you shared it. Y'all, I can't wait to get into this conversation. So listen, if you didn't read the description, let me tell you what we're talking about today. So, well, first of all, let me do this because I'm going to be putting up some things and I want to get this on out of the way. Sis, I'm going to move your comment for a second. Read it, get into it. All that part right there and that part right there too. All righty. Y'all, I'm just, y'all know I would never come on camera like this, but this is kind of cute. So listen, what brings us to the dinner table to talk tonight? Our issue of the day, and I know a lot of you have already heard about it. Some of you have not. So I'm going to give you a quick synopsis. The comedian Monique, award-winning actress Monique, made a statement about 7 days ago. Actually, it wasn't even a statement. She made a video on her Instagram where she was really just admonishing us African-American women, and encouraging us to not wear our hair bonnets, our robes, our slippers. If you're from the country, we call them house shoes, and even blankets to the airport. But then, of course, the conversation went a little bit further because we tend to do that at the grocery stores, at our kids' schools, all of those kind of things. And so we're going to get more into what she said in a minute, but I wanted to give you a little bit of background on what we're talking about. And the question is it okay? Is it okay to wear your hair bonnet, your house shoes or your slippers, depending on where you come from, your robes, to not wash your face? Because it goes a little bit deeper than the hair bonnet, which is what I think Monique was getting to not comb your hair. And is it okay to wear do-rags, men? So we're going to get all into it. You guys start giving me your feedback and your thoughts, and we're going to have this conversation. So I didn't originally hear the video or anything, the statement that she made. All I knew was her name just kept popping up everywhere. When I say everywhere, everybody is talking about it. So when I went to her Instagram page to actually watch the video so I could see the statement that she made, and I'm expecting it to be really inflammatory, really hate-filled and angry by the way people were responding and talking about it. And it was hot topics. It's on all the blogs. It's everywhere. Like if you have not seen it, you can go to her Instagram page and watch the post that she did, or you can go to YouTube and type it in. But all she really was saying was, I think she was in Georgia at the time. She's doing a show, and she was in the airport, and she saw some sisters who had on some hair bonnets. Some of them had on the house shoes. They had blankets on, and she just was saying, how you present yourself to the world is how the world is going to receive you. And she received so much backlash. I mean, there was nothing hateful about that, in my opinion, nothing hateful about what she said or even how she said it. But I think we're such a culture and society of you can't tell me nothing and mind your business, that it was received and perceived, I think, completely opposite of what she actually meant. Any of you who are watching, if you have seen it, chime in, let me know your thoughts. And if you haven't, just chime in on the question. Is it okay to wear your hair bonnets and your house shoes and your robes out in public? Guys, is it okay for you to wear your do-rags out in public? And oh Lord, like it was all of maybe 4 or 5 minutes of her talking like most older women would do to younger women. The way that I talk to my nieces and nephews, and I don't mean just by blood, because I'm Auntie Nikki to a whole bunch of people. I talk to them in love and I talk to them real. And when they're doing something wrong or something needs to be corrected, I correct it. And because they know that I love them and it's coming from a place of love, I don't get that type of you all up in my business. I wish they would tell me something like that, but I digress. Um, excuse me. But nowadays people are so into, you can't tell me what to do. This is my life. This is my business. We are in a culture where anything is acceptable, anything goes. And a woman getting on camera just saying, sisters, y'all are queens. Watch how you present yourself to the world. Take a little time and comb your hair. Take a little time. Don't wear your bonnet. Her just really encouraging and giving some really good sound advice just set the whole internet on fire. And I'm going to pull up now a couple of the things that she said. Give me 1 second. She said that she was shocked to see the amount of young sisters wearing head bonnets, scarves, slippers, pajamas, and blankets wrapped around them at the airport. She goes on to say that I've been seeing it not just at the airport, but at the store, the mall. And when do we lose our pride in presenting ourselves? When do we slip away from it? And she said, make sure when you leave your home to be presentable. She's always presentable, of course, when we see her out. She wasn't expecting for women to wear a full face of makeup to the airport, but comb your hair. If you look like you don't give a blank, then that is how you are going to be treated. She went on to say a whole bunch of other stuff. That's just kind of a synopsis of it. But again, I didn't take any offense to anything that she said. And I'm one of the chicks who every now and again, and it's every blue moon, if I'm running somewhere real quick, super early in the morning, I don't think anybody may see me, I might. Because, whatever's going on up under here, I probably wanted to stay a little bit till it's time for me to actually really get dressed and go somewhere. I've been that chick that has done that, and I didn't take offense to it. I didn't take offense to it whatsoever. Excuse me. I come from a time when I was growing up that not only was your mama and your daddy and your aunts and uncles and your grandparents telling you right from wrong, but the lady across the street, the lady from down the street, people could talk to young kids and not be cussed out and not be told you all up in my business, because we knew that most times it was coming from a place of love and correction. When do we get back to that place where you can lovingly tell someone something that because you love them so much or you care so much that you want them to correct it? I would want you to tell me if you see me out and my whatever it is, I would want you to tell me lovingly. Now, granted, we get it. Some people got stank attitudes. Some people don't know how to do anything in love or politely, but we know that's not what this was all about. My mother and my father were really big on when you are going somewhere, you're not going to walk out that house looking any kind of way. Like real talk, we come from the raising of you get your clothes ready at night. And during the school year on Sundays, you get them ready for the whole entire week, right? You do your hair on the weekend to get ready for church. You get your hair ready on the weekend for the work week. We couldn't even walk out the house ashy. Lord, the amount of Vaseline we went through. You couldn't walk out the house ashy. You better brush your teeth, and you definitely were not going to walk out the house with an unwashed face. Truth moment, I'm in the stores a lot of time and I see us like that. And it's not like 6 or 7 o'clock in the morning. It's 3 or 4, and we haven't washed our faces. We haven't combed our hair. Hey, baby, I'm gonna get to the comments in just a second. We don't have lotion on. Our feet are all out and they ashy. And I totally get. Actually, I hear her heart in this. When do we come up? Because we're already looked at in a certain way because of our skin tone, our skin color, excuse me. And it's like just one more extra thing to add to that. Now, granted, nobody should be judged because they have on a hair bonnet. Nobody should be judged because they decided to wear their house shoes to the store. But in a perfect world, nobody would be. We know we don't live in a perfect world. I'm going to jump to the comments real quick because I want to hear what you guys are saying, and then we're going to jump back into it. All righty. So Robert says, good evening, my dear sister. All women should show love and respect for themselves at all times while in public. Self-respect. Okay. So Kim says, hey, Monique came from a good place. Yes, we can look any way we choose, but as a Black woman, I'm not looking like I just rolled out of bed. No, ma'am. But if I do, keep your eyes and your words to yourself. In other words, you trying to say mind your business. Hey, baby. Okay, so here's one of my nieces here. We are not niece and auntie by blood, but I love her just the same. And she would tell you, if it's something that I see, we'll ask her. Shannon, I'm going to ask you, do I not holler at you? Do I not shoot you a message? Do I not shoot you a text? And when I do it, do you feel loved or do you feel judged? And be real and honest. If you feel judged, talk to Amy. Let me know. Let's see. Kim says that there's so much negativity brought upon Black women already. Either we're doing too much or not enough. I'd rather Black woman saying a word than another color. Good point. Good point. So all of you, I appreciate the comments. I got so much I want to say on this. I'm trying to keep my thoughts organized because the backlash that she received, that's what I want to get to. Let me put that up on the screen for a second. Excuse some of the language. All righty. So, and the timer is actually in the way I can't even see the beginning of it. But what the young lady was saying was Monique needed to mind her blank business. And she said, if any of y'all mamas or grandmas come up to me asking why I got a bonnet on, you're going to get cussed out. Another commenter said, let's address what fed this behavior. Children raising themselves. I really want you guys to chime in on that comment. Everyone is addressing the symptoms and not the disease. And then another comment was, to be very fair. Now this one here kind of irked my nerves, like my whole entire nerve. To be very fair, Monique is a fat Black woman. They are held to much different standards than non-fat women. They don't get to go out looking any, excuse me, anyway, because people already view them as sloppy, messy, dirty, etc. So it's like a lot going on there framing her comment. And that's what the commenter said. How do y'all feel about those comments? And those are the ones that I could put up. Some of them were crazy. And I'm 45 years old. Never have I, never will I disrespect my mother, someone who is older than me, and someone who is trying to tell me something correctively in love. I've had older women tell me some stuff with a real stank attitude, and I still did not disrespect them. I was not raised like that, because if I would have done something like that growing up, It would have been more than just my mom and daddy going upside my head. That's the type of raising that I have. I don't know what to say about, I don't know what to say about somebody that could say your mama or your auntie come up to me saying that they're going to get cussed the blank out. And I know people that would do it. I know people that would genuinely cuss these women out for telling them, baby, you need to pull down your skirt. Baby, your butt cheeks are hanging out your shorts. Baby, don't cuss like that. Don't talk like that in public. I know people that would really, really cuss people out. And that's, y'all, I'm telling you, there's so much I want to say. I'm trying to. Shanna says, very much so. I don't feel judged because you're helping me out with the things I missed or can't see. So I appreciate that. And I appreciate you appreciating that, baby. And anytime a Nikki is talking to anybody, even if I'm talking to another sister, a woman even older than me, it's always going to be in love, always. And if you never feel like I'm talking to you in love or you feel judged, you can tell me that. I know how to apologize. I know how to humble myself. I know how to change my conversation so it can be taken better, because even if it comes out wrong, that's never the motive or the intent ever. And I'm sure that was not Monique's. Another thing I was going to say, I actually learned my getting dressed and getting all dolled up as a whole event before you leave the house. I got that from my parents. Like, I would watch them get ready to go somewhere. It could have been to the grocery store. They were not going to leave out the house looking halfway. My daddy was going to do everything from brush his hair to groom his mustache, to put on his Old Spice or his Brute cologne, tuck in his clothes, put on a belt, and shine up his shoes. That's what I grew up watching. So my kids joke with me all the time. They say, Mama, you get dressed up to go make a sandwich in the kitchen, whatever. But I'm glad that they saw that, because on a rare occasion, they would see me leaving the house, as we would call in the country, tacky, maybe with the bonnet on, or without, my hair all whipped. Maybe it was just in a bun, because maybe I wasn't feeling good. But for the most part, that's the memory and the teaching that they will have. And I would get on to them about it. Now, they're adults now, so I cannot control how they dress. I wish I could, but I cannot. But I did my part by laying that foundation. What I do know my kids will never do, they will never disrespect an adult. They will never disrespect an adult that is trying to tell them right from wrong. Now, my kids are smart enough. They're not going to let you just talk to them crazy either. But they know how to do that even with respect and with love. My mama is on here. She says, good evening. Good evening, Mama. And she agrees with Kim. Amen. One of the comments was talking about, and I think that may have been Kim, you said that there's so much put on Black women, and there is. Like, we are not taking anything away from what our men go through, but my God, Black women go through so much, and we are held to such a different standard. We are held to such, everything is just different when it comes to us. We're always having to hold everything up, hold everything together, smile when we're being disrespected, smile when we're being paid less, smile when we're raising children by ourselves, smile when we are being objectified out in public. And I get it. Some people are going to be like, yeah, but they go around and they're wearing tight clothes or their butt hanging out. That don't mean that you have the right to objectify. And everybody's not looking like that when they're being objectified. So having just this one more thing, I understand that some of the comments people were feeling like that's just something she should not have said. But I'm going to ask you this question. And I really want you guys to think about what I'm about to say and definitely chime in on it. If this was Denzel Washington who made this same statement to young men about pulling their pants up, about not wearing those, I hate calling them wife beaters, but those white muscle shirt, wife beater t-shirts, and their pants hanging all the way down. If this was him saying this to young men and trying to encourage them to be more mindful of how they look when they leave out to go out in public, would the backlash have been the same? Would people be talking about it and talking about him, talking about counseling him? Because there were threats made to Monique. I mean, it's just ridiculous. I told y'all I have so much to say about this. There were threats made to her. Isn't that stupid? But with the same backlash, would it have happened to Denzel Washington if he was trying to get our men to pull their pants up and to watch how they present themselves out in public? I want to hear your thoughts on that. And while I wait to see what you guys have to say about that, Kim says the internets. I like that, as the internets have people bold and silly. There are some keyboard gangsters out there that would never say anything in your face like they would say behind their keyboard. You were so true about that. Mature people can take corrective criticism. People with already foul attitudes, no matter what your intent, will take it wrong. Well, you know what? And let me add something onto that. I am very well aware that a lot of people have not been raised the way that a lot of us were. Us who are 40 and up, 39 and below, were not necessarily raised the same way we were. You do have children that were raising themselves, that were raised by grandparents who were just trying to make sure there was food on the table. You have a lot of people that grew up in foster care. And you have a lot of people that are best friends with their parents where, their parents just did not teach them. So do we leave room for that? Yes, we do. Do we leave understanding for that? Yes, we do. However, the accountability, when you as an adult now say something out of your mouth where you're threatening someone, where you are, they're trying to even cancel some of her tour dates. It was just ridiculous. That you have to have responsibility for the things that come out of your mouth and what you say and what you do. So there has to be some point where we are held accountable. And the thing is she's receiving this type of backlash because nobody wants to be held accountable. If I want to have my butt cheeks out, I want to have my butt cheeks out. And I don't want you to tell me that I can't. The question would be is why? Why can't anybody talk to you? Why can't anybody tell you lovingly, sis, you tripping, you messing up, you going down the wrong path, sis, you might want to that man don't, sis, that's not the right, sis, get off those drugs, sis, you got those babies at home, you need to go, like, why can we not be like that toward each other? Why can we not talk to one another like that? Have you guys shared this yet? Share it and make sure you tag me in it. So yeah, that another thing is, I think it goes beyond the hair bonnet, because there's a whole mentality almost that goes along with certain things, right? There's a whole mentality of and they did talk about this, and I'm gonna tread lightly on this. She wanted to make the distinction about she's not talking to poor people who are struggling, and that's all they have. She's talking about people that are choosing to be ghetto. Ghetto is not a color. Ghetto is a whole state and attitude. So y'all miss me with that. That's not what we're talking about. When you choose, knowing that you don't care, you purposefully went out the way that you went out, and then you're loud and you're disruptive, and you're on your phone, on the speakerphone, being loud, and you're fighting out in the stores, those type of things. And we're not talking about other cultures. She was specifically addressing us because she wants our people to come up to a higher standard. There's a whole mindset that goes along with that needed to be addressed. Society doesn't have, hold on, let me get that comment up. Society doesn't have positive things to say or accept. That is true. That is true. Out of all the comments that I read, and there were so many because it's posted everywhere, a lot of the resentment came from the younger people who, hold on one second. Kim says, you mean people with no home training? That is what it's called. Yeah. Do people still home train their kids? That's what I'm going to ask y'all. Do people still home train their children? That's that's the question I want to ask y'all. And again, I'm going to go back to the other question. Excuse me. If this was Denzel Washington telling young men to pull their pants up and to present themselves, hold on, Whitney, let me put your comment up. It's mostly about respect and responsibility. Mm. Hmm. Do y'all think people still believe in home training? And we all know home training is not just teaching your kids don't do drugs, don't smoke, and don't drink. Home training is training your children at home how to be respectful, how to have respect for themselves, how to take care of themselves. Monique was mentioning one of her teachers back when she was in a grade school that used to have a charm school down in her basement, which is probably why Monique did the charm school some years ago. But she said, even though she had a mother and a father, it was so good that she could go and learn which fork to use, how to sit properly when you have on a skirt, how to polish your nails, how to apply your makeup, the things that you usually do learn when you're at home, when fathers are teaching their sons how to open doors, how to talk to young ladies, the proper way to actually ask someone to take them out on a date. Y'all, I'm going to say I don't think there's a lot of okay, I'll say it this way. If there is home training going on, it's definitely different. It's a whole new crop of stuff going on, because the disrespect that I see in y'all. I was in the grocery store the other day. Y'all probably was gonna have to take up a collection and put money on my books, because this child, you could hear this child screaming all over the store. I don't care what side of the store I was on, and HEB is huge. You could hear this child screaming. And by the time we ended up meeting up, the child was screaming for no reason. And the mama just kept pushing the cart like she didn't hear her child hollering. Had that have been me, my mama would have cut up on me where I was cutting up. If that had been me and my child, and I'm not judging this mother, but I would have clowned them right there in the store where they were clowning. But literally, for the entire time they were shopping, this child was screaming and hollering. Come to find out, the child wanted something that she didn't want to give it. And it was allowed to scream like that all over the store. And I know he had to be about 5. Now, you 5, now, at 5, you can have a whole job. Why are you hollering like you are 1 and 2? Hold on, let me get this comment up. Ashanti says, it's all about how you were raised. I remember seeing the older generation leaving the house with hair rollers and a scarf. Yeah, that is true. That is so true. Because they were not going to take those rollers out of their head into Bible study or church or BYTU meeting or whatever. So yeah, that is true. And I'm not going to lie and say, when I was coming up, we didn't throw on, we used to rock bandanas back then. We all thought we was anyway. we did that too. So you are so right. Okay, I think that was Kim tagging somebody. I think that's what she was saying, and her response to the story. But yeah, and I really wanted to go and assist her. Now, normally I would say, do you need some help? Is everything okay? Because sometimes you can be so overwhelmed as a mother. If you touch their child, you might choke them to death. But she did not speak any English. So I did not approach her and her child, but that baby screamed the entire time. And I was like, just back in the day, you just could not do that. And it might not have been my mama. Maybe somebody else would have walked up and snatched my ear or something like that. But the home training, I don't know. And if it is going on, it's definitely different. Um, People are scared of children. There are a lot of elderly people that I have heard say that they are afraid to tell these young people things because they think they're going to get hurt. And unfortunately, in the last, what, 5 months, 6 months, we've seen people kicking down older Asian people and just beating them. So, my God, what are y'all thoughts? What are your thoughts? Child, this whole subject got me, this subject and this bonnet got me sweating. It got me sweating. So, after receiving all of the backlash, Monique has made a few more videos, made a few more statements, and she did go live. But here is the first statement, or a bit of a synopsis from the first video that she did after she received the backlash. Now, this is not what she had on when she made it, but I was like, I'm going to honor the queen because they were dragging her. Because when she made this statement of the video, she was in a robe. Mind you, she was about to get dressed to go on stage or had just come off a stage, but everybody felt like she was being very hypocritical because she made her statement in a robe. She did title that particular video Unapologetic. She said, hey, my beautiful babies, I'm okay with some of you being in your feelings. I love y'all, and sometimes that love ain't easy. I am here for the challenge, and ain't nothing you can do to stop me from loving you. Boom. That part. She went on to do a couple of lives, and one of the lives, she was even in tears because she said, if I have to take all of this, I got to deal with the backlash, the threats, people talking about canceling me because y'all know it's cancel culture. She said, I'll be that. I'll take that because I love us like that. And if it takes that to get us to come up, I will do that because I love us like that. Y'all, that's some courage. When you know you're going to get backlash for doing what's right, how many of us are willing to do what's right, knowing that we could receive backlash? How many of y'all are willing to do what's right, even when it feels wrong? Kim says, a pinch and a stare. I carried a wooden spoon for backup. Y'all, my daddy was the pinching ninja. Jesus, that man could pinch you and have you rethinking your whole entire life like it hurt like that. Mama says CPS will place you in jail. Excuse me. Well, that is true. That is true. And it's really crazy. Some of y'all know, some of y'all don't know. I've had a daycare. I've been a preschool teacher. I have my license and my certification as an early childhood educator and director. And we take these oaths. There are laws that if we see anything that could be a form of abuse, we have to report it. The things that you report and you write up that don't get investigated is ridiculous. But when somebody's trying to actually really discipline their child and the child gets taken away, and I don't mean beating them, like beating them, trying to discipline their child and the children get taken away. I used to never understand that, because you have real situations where children are really being abused. They are in horrible situations, and some have even died. But they don't investigate those. But when you're trying to raise your child, and sometimes some children need to get their behind whooped, they come and take the kids. That's ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. Kim says, a pinch and a stare from, did I read this one already? Okay. I carried a wooden spoon for backup. With my kids, I got real close and whispered a threat. You know what? From my children to my dog to my nieces and nephews, I never had to threaten them. You know what I did? Kid you not. Look at the eyebrow. Okay, you get this stank look. Oh, you know it's on. My dog even knows that look. I was not playing. I love you. Now, don't get me wrong. I love children, and anybody in my life with kids knows I love their babies. But even their kids know I don't play like that, because your life is too important for me to watch you do some stupid stuff and not get on your behind about it. Because if you learn on the little things, more than likely you're not going to do the big things. Now, I get it. Kids are going to be kids. The kids are going to do what they want to do when they get older. However, it works when you back it up. I have gone to my friends' children's schools because the kids was up there cutting up. I told her, next time, put me on the paperwork. Tell them to call me. Kid you not. And we talking about some teenage boys. I don't care. I'll run you over my wheelchair. If it's going to stop you from acting the whole fool and keep you out of trouble, yeah. Yeah. Pam said, it's the look, chick. Promise even knows that look. That's my dog's name for those of you that don't know. Ashanti said, I gave my boys the look also. Yeah. And I can still get, my sons are 28 and 23. Do not live with me. I can still give them the look. That if you back it up, because let me tell you something about kids. If you do empty threats, them kids be like, and keep on going. Because you ain't finna get them do nothing. Nikki was a woman of her word. Or like my mama. So y'all, I know y'all heard me say this before, but I'm gonna say it again because she's on here. So my mama was a nurse. She was an LVN, and she would work double shifts, like work a whole 12-hour and then work another 12-hour shift. So if she came in tired and we needed a whooping for something, she'd be like, all right, you got a whooping laid up. And she go take her nap, go to bed, whatever. You might not get that whooping for months. But by the time you do get it, everything you've done from the day she made that statement up until that moment, you about to get that. Now, if you were smart, which we were not, you didn't get into any more trouble, because that will remind her of the whooping that you still have not gotten. We was a little dumb. So sometimes we got some whoopings that had some compounded interest on it. My God, flashback. Mama, I love you. My mama's birthday is tomorrow, y'all. Let me see. Yeah, Pam, the laid up whooping. Next time we at mama's house, ask her about it. She on here, mama. Don't get quiet now. Look, CPS not gonna come and get you. CPS won't come and get you. Mama going to say something. But my mother's birthday is tomorrow, y'all. So y'all wish her happy birthday. But I'm still waiting to hear you guys' thoughts on if this was Denzel Washington making these statements to young men about sagging and pulling their pants up and presenting themselves differently out in public. Do you think the backlash would have been the same? Yeah, call out, Kim, because she's trying to be quiet now. Later on, she'll tell me, oh, I didn't even hear it. Don't be ashamed. You tore it up, but you know what? That's why I am who I am. That's why I am who I am. Pam says, hey, lady, and happy birthday, mama. Y'all, there were some comments about, what about Muslims when they have to wear the hijab? Or did I say it right? I hope I did. Or when Jewish people are wearing the they call the yarmulkes. I think I'm saying it right. I'm not sure. And of course, we're not talking about that. We're not talking about the African sisters that wear the beautiful headdress. She is in no, I don't even think she's really just talking about the bonnet. It's the whole entire, I just woke up out the bed, sleep attire. Now, if you were going to the airport, I would want to be comfortable too. No lie. I probably wouldn't want to put my head back on that nasty seat. So I might put on a head bonnet myself. I don't know. But if you got the point, you got the point. But the enemy sometimes can tend to have us arguing about the top not being on the toothpaste when it has nothing to do with that. And married couples will understand that. Y'all start arguing about something that don't have nothing to do with nothing. Nothing to do with the price of tea in China. Well, you leave the top off the toothpaste. I don't like the way you put it under instead of over with the toilet paper. When really that's not what you're angry about. So if he can get us off what's really important, and that's the fact that she is actually calling her people to come up higher and to see yourself higher, she can get your mind on, she disrespecting y'all. She talking to y'all like, if he can just get y'all mind on that, then you actually missed the whole freaking point. My mama said, y'all knew the rules. Okay, mama. You didn't have to do that though. Pam says, right, the whole entire person. Yeah, yeah. Um, and that happens. That's why sometimes when people, excuse me, are arguing, especially in relationships, that argument can go from something that could have been solved in maybe 30 minutes worth of just calming down and talking and really listening to we ain't talking for a whole week. We just passing by each other and slamming doors and being passive aggressive, right? Because it's never about the top off the toothpaste or that you squeeze it from the middle. It's not about that. What are you really angry and upset about? And I think in this situation, it's being called up higher. God taught me a long time ago, when the light that's within you calls the darkness in someone else to go away, for them to come up higher, that it requires more out of them or them to rise up and they don't want to, they're not going to like it. Excuse me. That's when you get the backlash. That's when you get the arguing. That's when you get people saying that you think you're better now that you're doing so and so, because they don't want to come up higher. So now I'm going to make it about something else other than about the fact that you are actually requiring more of me than I really want to give. Because granted, you can be. There was a woman in the comments saying that she's a lawyer. She was going through law school and she sometimes leaves the house in a bonnet, but she still, washes her face and does this and that. Well, then she's probably not talking to you. She's probably not talking to you. I'm going to get to your comment right now, Pam. This generation doesn't want correction, even when given in love and concern. Yeah. And she says, absolutely. And then, hold on one second. So Kim says, did it pop up on the screen? There we go. Denzel Washington would have gotten a standing ovation. My point exactly. But again, Black women lose that respect among ourselves when we try to correct. Have you seen some of these kids cussing grown folks? Yes, I have. I have stepped in many times. Many times. Oh my God, I've stepped in many times with people I didn't even know, because it makes my whole entire soul just I'm sweating now on this conversation alone, because I know what I see. I know what I see, and I know the detriment we are doing to our babies and to each other when we are too afraid to talk to each other in truth and love. Now I'm going to say this. Some of us need to learn how to talk in truth and love. Some of us think we have the whole right and constitution written about us, that we can talk to people how we want to and expect them to receive it and still respect us. There's a way that you can give anything with sugar and honey. You don't have to always give it with vinegar. You really don't. But back to your statement, Kim. Denzel Washington would have gotten a standing ovation, but again, Black women lose that respect among ourselves when we try to correct. Have you seen some of these kids cussing grown folks out? Kids try me in my district when I give them correction. They think we're equals. No, ma'am. I don't take it personal, but I don't take it either. I hear you. I hear you. And a lot of the children have their own parents afraid. They have their own parents afraid. They're afraid that the child won't love them anymore if they don't let them do whatever, if they correct them. There is a parental guilt, because a parent may be a single parent, not just moms, but dads are single parents too. Or there's guilt because maybe there was a divorce. So now you're trying to keep that child happy. You don't know how to parent or what to say. And I know some parents who have even felt guilty and they've said, well, how can I say something to them when I did the same thing when I was their age? But the being afraid of your child, y'all, I shouldn't because he's not here to defend himself, but he'll tell the story too. When my oldest was 14, I told him to clean the kitchen up. He said something smart, and I swear I can never recall what exactly he said, because all I know is that the mama radar in me made me turn my wheelchair around so fast, and before I knew it, I was standing right up in his chest, and I was about to punch him. And he screamed, "Mama!" And he grabbed me, and it literally made me snap. And he said, "What did I say?" Which, of course, he knew what he said. And I told him, as long as you black, and as long as you live, don't you ever disrespect me, and don't ever let that wheelchair fool you. Now, when he tells the story, he swears I levitated, that I literally floated across the room because I got to him so fast. But there was something in me everything had to always be nipped in the bud that I didn't want to exist. Do you get what I'm saying? Some things, if you don't nip them in the bud right then and there, your kids will try you. Jesus, they will try you. And I was the one to be tried. And I thank God for putting that in me. I was not afraid. And my kids, anybody that knows my kids are 6'6" and some change, and 6'5" and some change. Ask me, did I care? Ask me, do I care now? I don't. Because even though they are men and I've raised them, I am still their mother. They were still cut out of my stomach in them C-sections. Do you understand? I gave my life and my body to those children. Never. Oh my God, I just got hot all over again. Let me go to a comment. Let me go to a comment before you send me a text and you won't even know why I'm angry. All right, Pam says, whatever happened to respect, morals, values, and standards according to our Christian beliefs? And then she says, yes, they do. And I absolutely don't understand how a parent give their rights up just to be their child's friend, and they still don't respect you as their friend. The devil is a whole lie. He's a whole liar. Y'all laughing at me? Yeah, I will say that at this stage of their life, because the raising part is over, the training part is over. Now I'm just in the guiding stage. When they call me and ask my advisor, ask for prayer, I can only guide them. I can give them the advice. I can point them in the direction, and I trust God to do the rest. Plant, water, trust God. But there are times when I can be a friend to them, but I will never be on that level of friendship with them where they can think that anything is okay and that disrespecting me is okay. No. And they could be mad at me. They might not talk to me after they leave my presence, but they're not going to disrespect me. And I give God glory and honor for that. Even for my nieces and nephews and those of you who what am I, a surrogate auntie to your children, never disrespectful. And I can talk to them about anything. I can tell them, take that picture down off of Facebook. You are too beautiful for that. You are a woman with children. That don't need to be on Facebook like that. Why are you doing that? Why are you cussing in that? Take that down. Think about your babies. I have that, and I thank God for those open doors. And I encourage you all to be that for children in your life, for your nieces and nephews. And you know what? I got to say this. As much as children don't like discipline, children love discipline. I can tell you story after story after story of children that I watched grow up, who became adults, who said, I wish I would not have been given the amount of freedom I was given. I wish I had a curfew. I wish my mom and them told me so and such and such. I wish somebody would have whooped my tail. I wish somebody would have told me no sometimes. So they might not like discipline, but they love discipline. And the thing is you got to be brave enough and understand when I'm disciplining you and I'm telling you right from wrong, in that moment, it's not even about your feelings. I'm not going to hurt them by being disrespectful or putting you down or making you feel like you are nothing. But I don't care about you not liking what I'm saying and being angry with me, because I know in the long run, I love you so much. As Monique said, I'll be that. I'll take that. You might not talk to me for a minute. I did my part. I did my part. And that's what we have to do. You know, when children know that you love them, they'll receive from you. They'll receive it. They may not like it in the moment, but they're listening. They're listening with their eyes. So they're watching what you do, and they're listening with their ears. Even if they don't say you right, they're listening. And I'm gonna tell you how you know they're listening. Because the next time they need something, they need some prayer, they get in trouble, who do they call? You. Even though they know you and that you're gonna fuss, they still call you because they know that you're gonna tell them the truth and that you love them enough to be honest with them. Pam says, Titus 2 women and Titus 2 men. Amen. 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 So I would say again that I appreciate what she did. I appreciate that she loved us as a people enough that she felt the need to go ahead and do the video, even though she said she fought with herself and it took her a while before she would do it because she knew what was going to happen. Sorry, y'all. Don't y'all hate it when you have on lip gloss and it gets sticky? She knew the type of backlash she was going to receive. If she can do it knowing the whole world was going to give her backlash and she could potentially lose millions in endorsements, shows, contracts, you can't do it for your niece or nephew or your child. I'm just going to fix my bonnet to the side. I'm going to let that marinate for a little bit. Let me go to the comments. Kim says, so we have a generation raised on YouTube. Oh, well, all right. That's my next point. Thank you so much for bringing it up, sis. She did. Being raised on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, and TikTok, and reality TV. Reality TV. They see folks wilding out and getting likes and sponsors and things. You, girl, I promise you, look, that was my whole next point. Thank you, Kim. Thank you. They see folks wilding out and getting likes and sponsors and think that that's the life. And then try to translate that over into real life with the loudness, the ratchet, etc. Parents, guardians have to shut that down and say, no, there's a time and a place. Amen. Amen. What do y'all think about what Kim just said? My voice is not going to fade out on me because we're going to get to the end of this and we're almost done. But what do you guys think about what Kim said? I absolutely agree. She literally took the words out of my mouth and off my notes. I'm not going to even hit YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. Let's just talk about reality TV, which is not even real reality. It's scripted. And I don't even think the kids realize it's scripted. It's not reality. Those people don't even live those lives like that. Some of those houses and apartments are rented during the season that they're filming. So you think everything that you see is exactly the type of life that they're living. And then, as you say, they have all these $1 million contracts and endorsements and all of this stuff off of living a scripted life on reality TV. When a lot of them are so unhappy and miserable. Unfortunately, they are on drugs. Unfortunately, they are drinking. They have bad marriages and relationships. Some of them are in custody in custody battles, trying to get the, like, it's the real reality of their life is not shown. But the kids believe that to be the truth. And that is what they're going after. And we cannot allow the television to raise our babies. Jesus. Pam says, I really love how Monique spoke about loving them enough to correct them. And she made a second video saying she's unapologetic for the corrections. Amen. We did talk about that earlier. And she's made a couple of other lives still talking about it too. And y'all, I'm going to tell you guys about the Patti LaBelle story that she shared, which I loved. All right, Crystal. Crystal says, I just believe that you do what you want. However, you have to be okay with consequences of your actions. People always going to have something to say, and only you can say whether you care or not. That's a whole message right there. But sometimes we have to be careful with the doing what we want. You are right, because then there are consequences. But in the doing with the whatever you want, is it affecting somebody else's life though? That's what we have to think about. And sometimes, even though we do not carry the weight and the burden of the entire culture on our individual backs, sometimes we are the representative for the entire culture in an individual setting. Y'all know what I mean? When you're the only in the room, the only Black person in the room. Crystal says people don't wear these things to work, so to each their own, sis. Yes, they do. Some of them do, sis. Yes, they do, baby. Some of them do. Hi, Carlos. Hi. And Pam says, we sure can. You are right. Sis, yes, they do. Some of them do wear that stuff to work. Excuse me. Okay. Do y'all remember when the mailmen and the postmen had actual uniforms? Y'all type yes if you remember that. Type yes if you remember the days when the postmen and the postwomen, the mail people, had uniforms. I just need to see one yes. I just need to see one yes. Does anybody remember? Okay, I see a yes. Crystal says yes. And I don't know about where you all are watching and if this is true for you. I kid you not. I will take a picture if you want me to, and I will post it next time I see them. Our postmen here in San Antonio do not wear uniforms. They wear their regular clothes. I have seen them in muscle shirts. I have seen them in slides with socks on. I've seen them in shorts, tennis shoes, and just a regular, this shirt here says, I'm strong, I'm powerful, I'm fierce. Theirs didn't even say all that. Theirs was like Joe's Trucking and Barbecue, like regular clothes. Now, you probably like what they got to do with hair bonnets and stuff. Sis, go on any random day, go into a fast food place and really check out everybody. At daycare centers, in the grocery stores, I have seen in several different places, everybody's not a work attire dressed. And I understand that there are other cultures that do, but we are specifically talking about ours tonight. But yes, yeah. I have no idea why that alarm came on. And I've seen people who are at work and you can tell they didn't wash their face. There is still, I don't mean to gross anybody out. So sorry if I do. But when you wake up sometimes you got that line running from the crack of your mouth kind of up your face because you was kind of slobbing a little bit. Yeah, if you don't wash that off with a towel, it stays. If you don't take a towel and clean out the sleep in your eyes, it stays. And if you don't brush your teeth, we know it. Yeah. Let's move on. Let's see. All right, we already addressed that, what Crystal said. All right, here it is. Crystal says truth. However, that is why we have social norms and customs, and some of these norms and customs don't fit other customs. True, that is true, sis. And she said, "What? Well, that will be a no for me to work." Yes, right. I know y'all have seen people go to work wrinkled. You know, they literally woke up late and went straight to work because everything is wrinkled. The shirts are not like, and I get it. These are different social norms than when we were growing up. I understand that. Does it make it right? I don't know. Does it make it wrong? I don't know. I guess it's going to be in the eye of the beholder, but sis, yeah. Okay, I see y'all's yeses from the postal people. Um, She said, I thought they still do. Now, Crystal, I know that you live, since I forgot what state you're living in now, since you left me. But here, and again, I will take pictures if y'all want me to, and I will post and tag the people that deliver here in this area. No, ma'am, I have not seen the what is it? The gray pleated, no, not pleated. The gray shorts with the pleats that go to the knees, with the shirt tucked in with the US postal symbol thing in the belts and all. No, girl, not a no. Mm-mm. And it is so weird when I see somebody getting out of that little mail truck with this big old bucket with all of our mail dressed in regular clothes. I mean, regular, like I might go work out when I leave from here clothes. Um, let's see what else. Mama said yes. Our postal workers wear their uniforms. Okay. My daycare is work attire. Yes. Yeah. Not wash their face. Y'all know y'all seen it. So Kim says, so Nikki, do you think there's a difference between a woman wearing a bonnet and wearing a wrap scarf in public? Excuse me. I don't know if there's a difference, but again, if we're going to put it in context, sis, if it's bonnet or head scarf and wrap. And matter of fact, I'm going to take the wrap out because I don't want the wrap to get mixed up with if someone is wearing a hijab or if someone is wearing like an African headdress. If you're talking about just regular cute scarf, but when those come along with the house shoes and the pajama pants, that's a little bit different because we can tell that's probably what you wore to bed. I mean, it's sold in the night clothes section. See what I'm saying? So, but I do understand because that was also part of the controversy. People said, so where do you draw the line? Because some people do wear scarves. Some people do wear head wraps. I get all of that. I really get all of that. But I think it's everything else that goes along with it. Um, but what do you guys think? Chime in the comments. Kim would like to know, is there a difference between a woman wearing a bonnet and wearing a wrap or a scarf in public? Definitely chime in. Crystal says cultures, I mean cultures. Um, okay, I'm sorry, Crystal. I think because we're so far down in comments, I'm not quite sure what you mean by cultures, baby. All right, and you were in Maryland. That's right. That's right. Pam says, Kim, I believe it's different for me because I'm old school. I would tell y'all, Kim is so much. I mean, Pam is a whole lot. Pam is just like me. Her nephews will say the same thing about her. She's gonna put on her all the clothes, jewelry included, even if she has to run down to the store. That's on her street. So yeah, she's not gonna do mm-mm, mm-mm. And that's how her mama. Yeah, that's the old school. Thank you. I did it for the thank you, Crystal. I did it in honor of the show. But it's hot up underneath here. It's hot, chick. It is hot. Let's see. And Kim says, I'm talking about Black women. I wear a wrap scarf to work with full makeup. That's me. Okay. Well, again, I think it has everything to do with the full attire. It's hard to really say wrap and scarf in the same sentence with bonnet because there are so many variations of scarves and so many variations of wraps. There's some people that, the wrap looks just like the kind that you wear before you go to bed at night. But then you have those cute wraps that you can actually style. Same thing with the scarves. So I get what you're saying. I absolutely get that. And that was part of the controversy in what um, um, Monique was saying. And Pam said, I was brought up that you don't go out with your sleeping clothes and bonnets and scarves. And Crystal said, I meant the social norms of society, Western cultures don't fit others. Okay, I got what you're saying. And that is true too. Again, I said at the beginning at the top of the show, in a perfect world, nobody would be judged by how they look and what they have on. Somebody's gonna have a problem with this, even though we're talking about bonnets, and I did that for a reason. Somebody will have a problem with that. And the thing is you have to be in a place where other people don't rule what you do. But for the purpose of what she was saying, because she wants us to care more about how we present ourselves, there's got to be something in you that may not care if you can go outside without at least washing your face. Fine if you want to wear the bonnet. Okay if you want to wear your house shoes and don't put lotion on. Okay if you want to even have on a robe and your PJs in the Walmart without a bra on. I've seen that many times. I can't do it because my girls are, you would know I don't have one on. But I see it all the time. And if that's how you want to do it, fine. But not even wash your face. So to me, that goes deeper than, to me, that goes way deeper than it being a choice and it being, well, people should let people live. It's, I need to find out, are you good? Are you okay? Because if you're okay with not washing your face, okay, maybe it's just me, but the crust in my eyes when I wake up bothers me. If I'm not going anywhere, I may not do it immediately when I wake up. I probably make a cup of coffee first, or use the bathroom, or maybe I check my social media. But if I'm going to go out in public, if I'm going to be rocking everything that I just got out of the bed in, and I don't want to wash my face, I would want you to see if I'm okay. I would want you to find out, why is that okay with me? That big line right there. Y'all, I'm telling you, I'm not exaggerating these things. I've seen this stuff out in public. I have. I've seen some of us where we have on slides, slippers, sandals, and it don't look like we've had any lotion for a couple of weeks. And maybe you can even argue, well, Nikki, why is that even your concern? Why does that even bother you? And I might not even have an answer for that. Or maybe I'll say, because I want to know, what is it that you don't care about how you present yourself for yourself out in public? I don't know. Those things just, and maybe it's because the way that I was raised. And if you weren't raised like that, then what bothers me is not going to bother the next person. And that may be why some people were upset with Monique. But reading the comments, it felt more like they were upset because can't nobody tell me nothing. And that is the culture that we have in this society now. Can't nobody tell me jack. This is my life. I do what I want to do with it. And if you try to tell me what to do, you're going to get backlash, which is bananas. She says something on here. Let me see if I can. She says, and this is one of the things I definitely wanted to bring up as we get ready to end this topic. She says, queens don't walk around with head bonnets, headscarves, and slippers and pajamas. That's for the house. When you go outside, represent you. Represent you. So what is your representation of yourself? What do you guys think about that last comment? What do you guys think about? And she goes into it actually in the video. I just kind of took that as a synopsis to put up. But she was saying that she wants us to see ourselves as queens. Queens would not go out in public like that. Let's leave out the bonnets. Let's leave out the headscarves. your robe and your pajamas, your house shoes. Okay, then you can leave that out. You don't want to wash your face and brush your teeth. You don't want to comb your hair. A queen would not. And that is fact. I don't know a queen anywhere that would do that. I don't. So I would love to hear you guys' thoughts on that very last point. While you are telling me your thoughts, I'm going to make sure I get to some of these comments before we end. Crystal said, and oh, already read that part. Thank you, sis. I'm talking about black women. Oh, you know what? I read that one too. I don't know why I kept popping up then. Here we go. Now, if you have your scarves and you dressed up, that's totally different. Okay, I think Pam was addressing Kim's comment. And then Kim said, 2020 lockdown messed up a lot of these kids. My middle school kids have been coming to school with pajamas. Woo. Okay, so this right here just really solidified the whole conversation. Because somebody's parents let them walk out the door like that. We used to have certain days, it was dress up day, wear your pajamas day. Even at work, we would have pajama day. We would have come dressed like an older person, come dressed like your favorite civil rights, Black History Month person. That was the only time that was okay. But this woman just said that these kids are coming to school with pajamas, blankets, and bonnets. Girl, I wanted to fall out. I was like, what in the ham sandwich? He's so silly. What in the ham sandwich is this? That, again, it just solidifies the whole conversation. Even if it didn't solidify my own personal point of view, it solidified everything that Monique was saying. Why is somebody's little daughter going to school in a bonnet and her PJs with her blanket? I don't know. And then I was crazy. And I want to say this was last year because of the trend. Everybody was working from home, so it was like the leisure wear. They were coming out with these pajamas that were real cute, but they were cuter. You could wear them out, but they were pajamas. Yeah. Yeah. And Kim Pam says, are you serious? The kids were wearing pajamas to school. Wow. I'm still on the head bonnet. I'm still on your baby girl walking out with her head bonnet on. And her blanket. And their blanket. Well, all right. Wow. And those were middle school babies. And you know what? Somebody didn't tell them that they couldn't do it. We used to have dress codes at school. Do y'all remember dress codes? You couldn't walk past whoever was at the doors. They gonna make you go inside and go, First of all, y'all, they would make you go into the bin and find something that you could fit. It was gonna be tacky and old as heck. And if you couldn't find something that you could fit, you were gonna have to call someone to bring you some clothes, because we had dress codes. I don't mean uniforms. We had dress codes. There was no sagging in school. Now, I'm not gonna lie and tell you the brothers didn't sag as soon as that bell rang and they were outside those school doors. But oh no, there was a dress code at school. Your skirt couldn't be too short. You couldn't wear shorts that didn't reach a certain part of your thigh. You couldn't wear sandals. You definitely could not wear flip-flops. If you had on sandals, they had to have a back to them on the heel. And you know what? The more we talk, I'm like, even in the schools adhered to some of the home training. But now, Kim said the kids come to school like that. So if they not turn them away, then I don't know. But y'all, it was an amazing discussion. I thank y'all for co-hosting with me today. Kim said, every day with those ugly slides. We could not wear slides, yo. We could not. And I mean, you know, them little Nike, everybody wanted to wear their little Adidas or Nike. You could not wear it. No. Only place slides were allowed is when you were in the locker room changing. But you weren't coming out that locker room with those slides on. I don't I don't even know what to say. I really don't. I don't know what to say on that. Kim, you girl, child, you okay. You ended the show with that one. Y'all, you couldn't even get on the bus if you was breaking some of those dress codes. But you know what? Nobody wants to get sued. Nobody wants to get canceled. Nobody wants to be on the news for saying that a child couldn't come to school because the pants was all the way down to the knees sagging. And I'm not going to even get on the schools too long. You said those children came to school like that. So I'm going to ask y'all the question I asked you earlier. Do we think that there is still some home training going on? I don't know. My whole eyelash just want to come off on that. I'm girl, you got me on that one. You really did. Woo, 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 woo. Well, y'all, you can definitely connect with us if you are interested in co-hosting an episode, or if you have an idea for a topic that you would like to talk about, hit us up at nickandking@gmail.com. Have you liked us on Facebook and Instagram yet? If you have not, why? What are you waiting on? Have you invited your friends to like us? If you guys are enjoying this show, taking the hour out to just chill and be entertained and laugh and just kick it with your peeps, why don't you invite somebody else to come and watch with us? We are also on YouTube and on SoundCloud. And also you can catch your girl at the Obstacle Overcomer podcast. Let me take this off because it's all in the way. Boom. There we go. And you can find me on SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, or iTunes. Wait, I knew she's going to stop barking because they're right by my window outside. Spotify, Libsyn, Instagram, and Facebook. You guys, I am on Buzzsprout now. If you guys listen on there as well to your favorite, promise don't do that, to your favorite podcast. This was an amazing conversation. I totally appreciate all of the feedback. Thank you for blowing my mind with that last comment. Kim, Pam, Mom, who else joined in on the conversation today? Whitney, Crystal, Carlos, Robert, Shanna, and I feel like I'm forgetting somebody. If I am, don't charge it to my heart. I love you guys so much. I thank you so much for watching. We always end the show with a word for the week. So this week, the word would be love. Love someone enough to tell them the truth. Love someone enough to love them in love and to speak with them with kind words that will uplift them. Love yourself enough to be mindful of how you present yourself to the world. And let's love our children, our people, each other enough that we will call each other out on things that we need to, but we will do it in love, the same way that Jesus Christ lovingly corrects us and tells us, you know better than that. You know that was wrong. We can do the same for others. Amen. Amen. Love you guys so much. And as always, queens and kings, keep reigning. Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next week here on their POV with Nick and King. Let's end the show. Yeah.